Next page too. I had a hard time finding it at first. It was right across from each other. And they both Christmas aspects. Oh, Jesus. They really are. We got the December, the cold one, and we got the heat. I celebrate Christmas in July. That's the intriguing part. There's some good notes in here. I might start sharing them more often, honestly. I thought about it this morning. I was like, one of the first things I thought of. Because I decided yesterday to sleep with my notes. I normally sleep with my phone, but I normally keep my notes like on the side of my coffin, which is a couch, but I call it my coffin because I spend most of my time there. It's the shape of it, it reminds me of it, so I call it my coffin. So I kept my notes in my coffin with me last night, which it was a little funny to me. I got a little chuckle out of it just because, like, going to the grave with me. I'm taking these notes to the grave with me, for sure. You know, because people sometimes leave their most valuable things here with them. You know, it's like this is my most valuable aspect. To the grave you go with me. Let's go. So I put it in there with me. It was the first thing I looked at this morning. Was my notes. Which I want to share that. I can share it really quick. This is the October aspect too. Thursday at 10:21 p.m. October 3rd, 2019. It was saying, try to capture the first thing that comes to mind to discover possible thinking traps. And then I arrowed up to comes to mind, picking up energy. You realize you're picking up energy quickly. Mind reading. Fast thoughts are misleading you. Then I got a different aspect. I want to share that right now. Sure. Sunday, October 6, 2019, 10:37 p.m. My mind is falling into what if loops. Mind reading, negative memories, personalized imperfections, overgeneralizing. It's negative emotions or negative memories. I put negative memories, thinking traps. I feel like I'm being triggered already. How intriguing. I'm not gonna get all into detail on that, but I feel the energy that's about to annoy my nerves. But it's not bad. It's just catching. Like, even how I just said I'm stopped because I feel like my nerves about to get to going. It's a thinking trap. It's things from the past. I wouldn't say they unresolved, but it's on the eternal side. Energy never stops. It does circle back. It's a word that I just learned from one of my other translators, honestly, and it's called accepting. It's not trying to suppress it. It's learning to accept it. And if you don't accept things, you probably will get frustrated. So it must be something that I have not accepted yet, honestly, with me thinking about it and saying it, where you still get triggered. You fall into that thinking trap, which is being upset. You know, whatever that energy is that you are reflecting back on, it irritates you because you haven't accepted it. Which for me, it's like, oh, Jesus, what have I not accepted, yo? I don't know if I should even go to Jesus for this one, but not being funny, because when I think of Jesus, I think of a diamond being reborn aspect, which may be something in that area I might be missing or haven't stumbled across yet. I don't know. But I wanted to say God, but I should have said, I maybe should have referenced to God. I mean, pardon me, words getting twisted a little bit. I don't know if I should reference to Jesus on that aspect or if I should go to God for this one because it's in the dark. You know, it's not what I'm seeing. That's probably why I just said maybe I haven't stumbled across it yet. It's there, but it's still dark where I don't even see light in it. Because I do reference to both of those. I feel my purpose is a Jesus aspect, but my personal self, my roots, is a God aspect. I do work in the dark. Um, so yes, I do represent both of them, but I do see a separation in it for myself personally. Um, I kind of forgot what I was just about to say. But yeah, anyway, the thinking traps. We all have triggers, things that bother us. Which for me, I should start calling it thinking traps, not being triggers. Like, you feel into a thing. Like, it's kind of intriguing because where I'm staying at now, which is at my ex's house, um, he decided to decorate. He got a bunch of spider webs around here with spiders in it. And I was just like, oh, how so intriguing. Now you want to celebrate me. And I personally took it as a compliment for myself because I got a big old spider on my arm, but you know, not to make everything about me. It's like one of those aspects of an energy, of a web, and how things can get stuck in there. And until you learn to accept it and not feel like you're stuck, you may feel a certain type of way, if that makes sense. And I feel like I'm talking to myself on that aspect, but literally, it's one of those energies. And I honestly feel like I'm not sure where I still have unacceptance aspect. Honestly, I say I have an open mind all the time, but you know, you live and learn. It's not like I'm about to clock out today. I know I'm not. I know I'm surely gonna wake up tomorrow. That I surely am. And the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. So there's something definitely to learn. Don't gotta learn it within this moment, even though I like it that way. But maybe I'll learn that lesson in 2025. You know, I'm talking about it now, but you know, I will realize it in 2025. I didn't even see this part of a frequency. You know, it was there. You're just now seeing it. And it's like, how can you accept something that you don't even know that you're supposed to be accepting? If that makes sense. Like, it's one of those, if you know better, you do better. But if you don't even know how you're supposed to do better, that's weird, you know. But it's the beauty of life. Because I have already learned so much recently within this end of the month situation. Over time, I have learned a lot. But as I was telling you guys, I have been ascending. I have been receiving a lot. Like, I always receive energy, but to me, it has been extreme. Definitely when I start getting the effects of feeling sick, but realizing why I'm feeling that way, because certain frequencies, they just don't always blend so well. You know, even how we have an understanding as into when we die, it's the end, but they're still there. You know, and a coming together aspect seems, they call it effects. You know, just like anything else. And I was saying that for me, I don't rinse this off my face, but I just got the coffee grains and the oil on me. It's feeling intriguing. I got sneezing effects, like a allergy, like I'm around something that I'm not supposed to be around. But in that aspect, it's not bad. It's just literally, yeah. We don't think the eternal aspect is still there, but we do because we talk about the galaxy all the time. You know we have astrologers. You know, we know this, but we don't think it's one of the same. If that makes sense. And that's just something I'm learning recently, honestly. It made me so excited because, like, I've been doing this, but it's nice to know where it's coming from and all this, you know. Because I have been talking about wanting to rebuild personally for myself um, my foundation, and even be able to fix my foundation now, have a better understanding of the energy I'm dealing with. Um, Before I even start, you know, a new, I can't even say new, um, add on to my foundation, I should say. Because I already started, but I was unaware of what I was doing and the energy I was allowing back by having a child. You know, how are you allowing the energy back? You don't even know the energy you're taking on, you know. Of course, you're going to have an interesting journey, you know, and I have had an interesting journey and still am, but it do make me feel better and hopeful, knowing the energy I'm dealing with and where it's coming from and all that, you know. Because I do have a hard time sometimes wondering why people don't think like me. Definitely, if I have a child, I have a child, and I know they're a part of me, but somehow we seem like we from two different galaxies. It'd be interesting, but we really are. We can learn from each other, but yeah, we really are from two different aspects. And it's not even the based off of I have my own roots, you know, and then his father have his own roots. It's a whole nother energy source you came from. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And when I'm saying a source, a planet. That's where our energy goes. They say nothing lives there, but energy does. Energy goes where it wants to go, which is awesome. That makes me so excited, honestly. It really does make me so excited. Because it makes a lot of sense, the energy I feel and how I can just. They call it a bipolar behavior because I go from different frequencies really quick, and even how I get to speaking sometimes. I will be talking about something, then I'll hop to something totally freaking different. But when I go back and even watch it when I record it, I see how it all plays out. But a different person, they be like, whoa, you went from this to this to this. Whoa, you all look. Planets, they mingle and socialize just like we do here, you know. Um, and that's what I translate for her. And, you know, people, they got different things they need to get out. So it just made me nice to know that for myself personally. And even having a child and one another one knowing I'm supposed to. Just nice to know what I'm dealing with. And the one I have now, I have a fire aspect, you know. So it's intriguing. Which I'm still working on that aspect, honestly. I kind of don't want to speak too much on it because I'm still learning. But I might share that today, honestly. Ha, I did. I just said I don't know if I want to speak on it so much, but I did think of sharing today because it goes with the first house for me in astrology. It's coming from the root aspect, but it does take me back into the 10th house to an extent, just because the root is who I naturally am, which I naturally am communication. Like I look at self and my roots as one and the same. And I'm naturally a connection source as to I communicate. I do communication. But it's my roots that do it. But then it's connected to service. And my service is translated, but it's kind of hard to explain. It goes with aspirations and abundance. Like what catches my attention, and it's love. Um, how can I explain this in my other note? So I'm still learning, but let me think of how I drew the arrow. Cause I drew an arrow for this aspect, but I actually got a box too for how I drew it out. And in the arrow aspect, think of like two flops. This is just a pole, but this is the stem. This is the root aspect, and the root is there. And you go up, and you got self. Self is the same aspect, and on the other side, it is your duty, and the duty seems to be your relationship. That's your whole freaking structure. You have yourself, which you're rooted to, and then you have your spouse, and then above that, I put stand up. Oh jeez, I can't remember what the heck I put up top. Stand steady, upright, stay upward. But pretty much keep a balance. It's a balanced energy. Stay balanced within that. And I have started it already. I have a child. But it has been off balance because of situations that have happened, lessons that had to get learned, you know, to do better. And even how to fix what I thought wasn't, you know, unfixable to an extent. And in the box form, Let me think of the houses I had on the box for him. I had the 7th house, which is marriage, but that I put a relationship. Then on the other side, oh geez, I think I need my book. I'm trying to remember without using my book. That's another aspect I'm working on, but it's like I just learned this. So I do be in a quick rush to go back and reference to it. Like, let me see that book really quick, but let me see that book really quick. 7th house relationship. Across from it, I want to say self. The bottom of it was roots. 7th house. 1st house. Or the 3rd house. Oh, Jesus. I put myself on spot right now. I knew I was going to, but I'll try not to. Because those are important. But here we go. The 10th house is at the top. But it's connected to the roots. Like the legacy part at the top. But it's nice that I figured it out already. That's the good part. I just gotta work on it, and I understand why I need to learn it before I even, bring back energy. So that's really important. It's part of why things cycle back in not good ways. People just think, it's fun to have kids or, to have sex and all that, but they don't understand what's happening. Definitely when things don't get resolved and fixed and all that, it's just circling back, no bueno. Maybe a different face, but same problems are going to arise. When it's not done right. Oh, I feel like I should get my notebook. I'll get my notebook really quick. I have to go get it. Where are you at? Oh, here he goes. Did I say it right? Yes, I did. Nice. Did I say it right? Nice. Okay, goody good. Made me so happy. I'm learning quickly. Yeah, but the box was the 7th house was a relationship. Across from that is self. The top, legacy, future, and below that is the 4th house, which I thought was so nice. Because self is hope. It's a self-image, aspirations. Left side, personal sales / communication. Bottom equals personal value, state of being connected. It's love, it's relationship, family. I'll never separate it. Aspirations and ambition. Aspirations and ambition. That is so nice. I don't know if I'm even ready to even explain all this. I'm still learning, but it's just nice to know I got that aspect already. I understand it. Like myself, been on track. I'm really good with communication. And knowing that's what I'm supposed to be is so nice. I circled that aspect too. Hope and self. I circled it. And communication image. I circled it. I'm not going to get too much more into that because I'm unsure still. But I did put January top. This is a new energy, like a beginning energy, which kind of makes sense, That's the first month of what we say of the year. And this is a starting point. I learned about learning self. But as I was learning myself, I realized the things that I'm connected to, why I'm connected to those energies. So it was nice to learn that aspect, honestly. To know, yeah, you are communication hunter. That's all. Your personal selves lead you right to connections, which helps me understand why I ain't got to do too much moving to receive. people don't understand that aspect for some reason. I shouldn't say people, because that's not fair to the overall, but you know, there seems to be a lot of confusion there. And my personal value is love, which ain't surprising. I got a big old freaking heart on my chest that lead right onto my eye. You know, like we will never ever separate, which that scares people in that aspect. I have learned that I come off as a stalker to an extent, but for me, it drives me crazy. It's like, yo, if you know me, you know I probably come off like I do not care. To an extent, I'm just saying, if you know me, you will understand what I mean. If you don't know me, then you'd be like, you probably think I'm mean and heartless and things of that nature. But I say all the time, I even identify as Skulls welcome, yo. You know, I'm here, but I'm not. Okay. If you need me, I'm here. I'm always here, yo. But it's on the eternal aspect. That's where it's fun and scary at the same time, because I'm literally living what I believe in and speak of all the time. It's the eternal side. They're there, but we don't see them. You see me, but I may be coming off like I totally ain't here, and you may not be here either. So it's so intriguing, honestly. But it's like I don't do it intentionally. Like I don't sit there and think I'm about to ignore you guys today, or I ain't doing nothing today, or however it comes. It's just what it is. It's hard to explain to an extent. But I would communicate with you out this world energetically. I swear, I probably would be in your head for sure. Like I would definitely, and I feel like I can say it affirmatively. I am that voice that whispers in your ear. I am your self-conscious. 1,000%, because I can communicate with you all freaking day, all day. I can tell you what you're doing no matter where you're freaking at. I can tell you where to go. Like, it's so intriguing. But it's communication. It's being rooted. You know, where'd you come from? You know, that's just what I learned. So I thought it was so freaking cool, honestly. It was comforting to know that. I would just say comforting. I would say excited. It was exciting. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just I've been doing it that I knew I was supposed to be. It's not like I ever questioned the aspect. But it's making me think of a translation that I did a long time ago. It wasn't that long. I think it was like last year. I might share it. I don't know. I already shared it. You know, that's how I just said restated what I already said, because things display back out again. I understand that energy repeats. It doesn't mean to be put out at that time again, because that's where we're at again. But I was saying history or background, and I can't remember what the heck I was about to say, isn't it? It's something about the translation, but that's what I titled it as. I might have to go back and watch it myself, honestly. Oh, somebody else. I was speaking of energies being connected. During that time, I was translating energies as into your energy and the person you're connected with, which even with me saying it now, it goes back to the first freaking house. Well, not the first house, but the way that I began to understand it as I was learning about the first house. It will be your doggone spouse. Whoever you're connected to. It could be a child or whoever, but it's that aspect. But for me, it would be my spouse. But realizing where your energy is at and their energy is at. And I did remember saying one of you will be, you know, learning more about your structure, where you came from, your roots, because you want to start building. I believe the other one was like in hermit mode or something. It seemed like doing the same thing, but they just wanted to be to themselves. It's like they were trying to figure something out. This is what that reminded me of. It's so freaking funny. History or background. Even with me saying that, I seem like somebody trying to make a decision right now, honestly. As into, even with me, I just sit there and said, well, I'm rooted to pretty much nature. It makes me think of a tree, and how the leaves grow on it, and then they fall off, and they come down to the ground, and then I don't know, they come right back out the ground and into the tree, and then bloom right on back. Like, that is the beautiful most definition of dying and being reborn. Like, they fall the freak off, and then somehow produce right on back, right on back, effortlessly. Like, it's the most intriguing aspect. It's not the quickest one, it do take time. It's like having a baby, I guess. It gets in, it does what it does, and eventually it comes out. But trees have been standing out a lot to me lately, and that's the easiest and quickest example I can give, because trees have been getting my attention in that form of a way when it comes to dying and being reborn again, a Jesus aspect. Because, we watched those leaves fall off that dip. We watched those leaves fall off that tree, for sure. We surely do. We watch that. Some people be excited by it, me. That's it. I'm about to say it seems weird and hurtful to say, because I do enjoy the color change of the trees. It's not the leaves falling off, but I do enjoy them blowing around in the air. Oh my God, spooky time. Because it would be knowing better and just thinking it's like the spirits is in the area. They freaking blow. They fell and then they blowing around in the air. They died, but their spirit is just swooping around us. It's funny because it's so true, but I enjoy the color difference of the trees. When they start changing colors, they go from green to like yellow or red or whatever color they turn. I really enjoy that so freaking much. That's my favorite time. It'd be so beautiful. But I guess now I'm learning to appreciate the trees when they have no leaves on it at all. Just bare. Skeleton mode. But I was saying history or background. Some people, no, I can't put people. I was about to word this. History or background. I kind of forgot what I was about to say. But it's making me think just off the top of my head as into choosing somebody from the past or your background, the person you're with now. It's kind of making me think in that form. But I feel like I wanted to get deeper into it. That's the intriguing part. I can't remember what the heck I was about to say. I got a little excited thinking about a part that I actually enjoy about the leaves falling off the damn tree. Because it made me think of like that crucifixion time, where they hung this individual, a physical person, from a tree. Well, not a tree, pardon me. When they hung him from a cross, nailed him to the cross. And people watched it and observed that, that's why I was like, oh man, I do not want to say I enjoy that part, but I do enjoy the part of the freaking leaves falling. I don't care about them falling from the tree. It is gorgeous, but I like when they be swirling around in the god doggone wind. It's so beautiful. It's like romantic, I don't know, it's comforting for me personally. But a part of my mind is taking me back to that cross time. That's what I keep thinking about. It's like, oh man, when I think of people who enjoy watching the damn leaves fall from the tree, it's an interesting aspect, but it is gorgeous. It's actually really gorgeous. It's making me think of an energy I just picked up recently. And I'm going to share that. I don't know when, but I'm going to share it because I feel the need to. The energy came to me, what's the day? Sometime this week. It's Friday. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. It came to me and it was asking, why do people like to hang things from trees? And when I first said it, I was like, you being funny, you trying to scare me or some fooleries? Like, I don't know, it's nice, I think of myself as a tree, a Christmas tree. And, it's nice to hang, like, ornaments and stuff, like, but I didn't think too much of it, but I kept thinking of it recently, and I felt that energy again today, honestly. Like, why do they hang people from trees? Like, I really want you to answer this, you know? Like, I'm just like, I don't freaking know. So I had to get my phone because I text myself when I'm communicating with spirit sometimes. Just the same way I jot down notes, or I might tweet about it, or I paint it up in an image form the best way I can, you know? Um, I say in the best way I can because I realize a good amount of people don't understand my image form for some reason. They might understand the words, or the numbers, colors, but they don't understand the image aspect. You get a little confusion, but it's like one of the same. Some people understand images better because in the image they may need just the hair color or the movement, or you know, I don't know. People observe and understand things differently. It's like actually looking at artwork in a museum. I guarantee, like, if 100 people was not even one of these, I mean, I say 100 people were looking at the same doggone image, they all would have different perspectives on what they seen. A good amount will see the same thing, but overall, they all will see different things in that one image. That probably that one person who painted it disagree on all their opinions. Like, that's not what I meant by what I drew out, but it benefit the other person in a total different way. You know, it's one of those aspects. Or I can refer to a movie. Like, watch a movie, you know, and if you're watching it by yourself, you may have not only yourself. You in the movies with other people, or watching the movie with other people. Y'all all have a different opinion on what y'all just seen. Like, we all didn't watch the same damn movie. And the Holy Book do the same thing. The Holy Book do the same thing. People read it and they all have different perspective on what they just read. Or they can just read it and still don't understand what they just read. You know? But you have people like me, we have translators, people who understand it. You know, people who don't understand it might not be for them, or you know, that lesson ain't came up for you yet to be aware of it. Just like I just said that. Your awareness level ain't there. You got the message, but it's gonna aha you later. You know, it's one of those aspects, honestly, because it just made me think of that. Like, how the freak do us believers read something but all have different perspectives on it? The world. And I have read out the book, and I didn't understand what the heck I was reading. I had to go reference some other things. It's just the way that they word things is a little like, whoa, yo. Talking of broken English. I'm being a little sarcastically honest. Like, it's just the way that they read things, thou and all that. Like, whoa, what? The? You mean the? Or what? You know, but it's all a spiritual aspect I have realized. It's just people don't understand. It displays in this aspect too. That's what I'm getting at. It's just, you know, for me, it's just the way that they worded it. Get a little confusing. That's why I usually just go right to what I need. I don't normally read the whole passage. Like, you use too many words. It's like some Romeo Juliet stuff. Like, yo, can we fast forward to the important part? Not saying it's not needed, but for me, I'm a quicker picker upper. Like, just give me what I need so I can go. But it is nice sometimes to read the whole thing if you got time, or you just need to. The whole packet, the passage, if you need it. Me, I go right to what I need. Like, I can open a book up and go right to what I need and highlight it and move on with my day, which that's normally what I do, honestly. And then I go back and I read the highlighted parts that I highlighted because that was it, the important part. But it's available for a reason. Maybe I don't have to be one of those selfish ones where it all has to be about me. You know, I had to learn a different lesson in a different form, or you know, I don't know how to explain it, but I do know how to explain it. It's just when I get to explaining things like that, I sometimes attempt to take things personally, where it's like I'm supposed to understand this whole doggone passage. Why I don't understand the whole, dude, yo. Are you ready to clock out the day or something? You know, you got time to learn, okay? Humble yourself, honey. It'd be one of those energies that I get, and I do have tendencies to check myself like that a lot, honestly, where it's like, honey, back up some, okay, relax. Which is nice because I don't have nobody in my physical form that would do that for me. They would have me just looking silly instead of saying, you know, relax. Life has ways of displaying itself. You know, you seek, you shall receive. Okay, so be patient and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. I think I'm gonna go watch. I think I am gonna go and watch that video though, because that seems to be important. That history or background, and it's funny because I was outside at a Democrat building that day. I was next to. I decided to go there and record, and I had on a red and blue pattern shape of voting time. I'm so sick of myself sometimes. Seriously though. I had those stripes on as a pattern of that checkered, and I had blue braids in my hair and a Ohio State hat, I believe. But that seemed to be important history or background. Background. I don't know what that means at the moment, but it seemed to be important. History or background. I think I'm about to watch that now.